Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I do like video games, and in today's video we obviously need to talk about Xbox, so let's just get into it. So I'm sure you guys have seen the news by now. Xbox has shut down 4 studios, the 2 big ones being Arcane Austin and Tango Gameworks. Now, there were 2 other studios, Alpha Dog Studios and Roundhouse as well, all studios under the Bethesda umbrella. It is really sad, quite frankly. And this video isn't really organized. This is kind of just a rant. I'm probably going to say a lot of the things I say in this video on the podcast on Wednesday. So if you want to watch that podcast, go back to Wednesday on my channel. You'll see that podcast there under the live section. But this is just a rant, quite frankly. This news is absolutely confusing to me, and it sets a terrible precedent for what we can expect going forward. And this is coming from somebody. My preferred platform is Xbox. It's always been Xbox. It will continue to be Xbox because I like the ecosystem. I prefer it. But the fact of the matter is that Microsoft, Xbox, whatever you want to call it, the brand, did pretty irreparable damage to themselves today. And I can come at this from 2 different perspectives. And the first perspective I'm going to come at this from is the perspective of someone who is very clear, very honest, that they are an Arcane fan. Arcane is my favorite studio. Point blank period. It doesn't matter if it's Austin or if it's Lyon. Arcane, as a whole, is my favorite studio. They make my favorite kind of games. So just really quickly, let me go on this kind of selfish rant. Just from a selfish point of view. My own selfish point of view. Alright? This move basically means that everything I love about Arcane is probably dead. Probably. Not 100%. Nobody can guarantee that. We never know what might happen. But it means that just about everything I love about Arcane is probably dead. And let me explain that real quick. I mean, we all know they just shut down Arcane Austin. That's how I opened the video with that news. They just shut down Arcane Austin, right? We all know this. Well, Arcane Lyon is hard at work on Blade, right? It was announced at the TGAs. Everyone was really hyped, myself included. I couldn't believe it. When I saw the Arcane logo next to Marvel's Blade, I lost my fucking mind. I just about lost my mind. I'm pretty sure I live streamed that reaction too, so you can see my reaction to that. I lost my mind. So with Arcane Lyon hard at work on Blade, I have no reason to believe that Blade won't be an amazing game, because everything Arcane Lyon does is amazing. Dishonored 2 was amazing. Deathloop was amazing. They're working on Blade now. That's gonna be amazing, more than likely. I have no reason to doubt them at all. So, let's say Arcane Lyon makes Blade, it's amazing, right? That means Arcane Lyon's probably not going back to Deathloop because they'll probably be doing a Blade 2 at that point. They're almost certainly not going back to Dishonored because, again, they'll be doing a Blade 2 at that point. And you don't have another Arcane studio to hand those off to. And Prey 2017 was an Arcane Austin game, which means, I mean, regardless of what happens with Blade, we'll probably never see Prey 2017 sequel. We'll almost certainly never see that at this point. And I mean, that in and of itself is a damn shame because Prey 2017 is probably one of the greatest immersive sims ever fucking created. So that in and of itself is already a shame. Alright, so we kind of talked about what I think would happen. Keyword think, because I don't know anything for sure, obviously, right? But we covered what I think would happen if Blade was successful from Arcane Lyon. What happens if Blade's not successful? Well, look at what just happened to their partners in Austin. They released a dud. Redfall was a dud. And instead of letting them stick around, instead of letting them work on it, instead of letting them fix the game, instead of letting them make it better, they said, you know what? Dead. You're dead. And they just killed Arcane Austin. One foul swoop, Arcane Austin's dead. So, I mean, what reason do I have to believe that they wouldn't just do that with Arcane Lyon if they failed? or anybody if they failed. I'm just talking about Arcane because Arcane's my favorite studio, but like any game studio if they failed. And let's just really quickly talk about the whole Tango Gameworks part of this, because Tango's on the opposite end of the spectrum of Arcane Austin. Arcane Austin just released a dud. They had this long history of great, amazing immersive sims. They released one dud, and then they're gone. On the opposite end of the spectrum, here's Tango Gameworks that, you know, made some kind of cult classic games. Evil Within has its cult following. Evil Within 2, again, cult following. Ghostwire Tokyo, cult following. And then Hi-Fi Rush comes out of nowhere. Probably their most successful game they've ever made. Certainly their most viral game they've ever made. And that's not good enough. And apparently it's not good enough after you guys come out and say, hey, not only are we not closing Tango Gameworks, we're going to be reinvesting in that studio. We're going to be hiring for that studio. We believe that studio has a very bright future as a part of Xbox. Well, that turned out to not be true at all. And the even more puzzling thing about it is that you wasted resources on that studio so that they could build a PS5 version of the game so that then you could shut them down immediately after it releases. That doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, there's so much that could be said about this. There's so many different people who have so many things to say about this. And my buddy Ham said it really well on his show. I was on there with him talking about this subject. I don't want to hear Xbox ever tell me, hey, this game hit this many players. I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't want to hear that when Hellblade 2 comes out. I don't want to hear or see a tweet from Xbox that says, congratulations to Ninja Theory on Hellblade 2 hitting whatever amount of players, 5 million, 10 million, 15, 20. I don't give a fuck if it's 50 million. I don't want to hear that. Because apparently you did that with Hi-Fi Rush. You did that with Hi-Fi Rush, and you said how proud you were. And you said all these things that we're going to reinvest, we're going to start hiring, we're going to expand this studio, and you did literally the exact opposite. So don't ever tell me those numbers again. Here's the thing. I know they're going to. I know they're going to because that's what they do. But I'm not going to take it serious anymore. I'm not going to look at those numbers and say, wow, great job. I'm done doing that. Like I said, this does kind of irreparable damage to the Xbox brand. Like, this casts a huge shadow of doubt above everything that you guys do from here on out. And that's not, I mean, obviously it's not good, but it's just a damn shame. It's just a damn shame. And here's another thing I hate. I want to say this really quick. I'm just going to add this onto the rant. One thing I saw online a lot of yesterday when this news broke was people were saying, oh, well, that's what you get for not buying your games or whatever. It's on the consumer. This isn't on the consumer. This is not on the consumer. That's insane to say that this is on the consumer. This is directly on Microsoft. Directly on Microsoft for shutting down these studios. It ain't the consumer's fault. This was Microsoft's decision. They're the ones that went through with it. It's not on me, it's not on you, it's not on anybody else but the people at Microsoft. And I gotta be honest, guys, my normal outro for the channel just seems kind of dumb today, honestly, but I gotta do it. Let me know in the comments. I mean, what are your thoughts on all this? Obviously, it's bad. There's really I'm not expecting answers other than, hey, this is bad. But let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on all this? I gave you my thoughts. What do you think about Arcane Austin being gone, Tango Gameworks being gone? Obviously, Alpha Dog Studios and Roundhouse, 2 support studios, those are gone as well. It's just not good, but leave it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, opinions on all this. Leave a like if you like the video, and if you're enjoying this kind of content and you want to stay up to date with it going forward over here on the channel, the best way to do that is consider subscribing, consider ringing that notification bell, because that helps you stay up to date with everything that goes on over here on the channel. And it helps promote me in the algorithm, helps push the videos out to way more people. And I always, always, always appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.